So I came across this style on Instagram and it's very beautiful. The details and all, even the color, very lovely. So I could not wait to just show you guys how to draft this two blouse with the hemline that has fringe and flowers on it. So I'm just going to be showing you how to draft the two blouse and also how to go about getting the design for the flower petals. So now let's get right into it. So I've gone ahead to place the horizontal lines, which is the shoulder line, the chest line, the bust point line, under bust line, waistline, and the blouse length. So the blouse length depends totally on what you want for yourself. So the total blouse length I'm working with here is 24 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and place half of the shoulder measurement on the shoulder line and on the chest line. I'm going to rule a straight line across. I'm just doing this as a guide. You don't necessarily have to do this. So the neck width I'm working with is 3 inches and 1 inch for shoulder slope. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the points. So I'm going to get the midpoint of the shoulder line that I drew, then go in by half an inch, then connect the points to get the arm circle just as you can see. So next up, you are going to be placing half of the bust band on the bust point line up to the blouse length. So you go ahead and rule a straight line, just as you can see. You connect the points together. So the dart intake on the under bust is I used about 1 inch on both sides. So I'm going to also mark that 1 inch on both sides on the blouse line, just like this. So I'm going to rule a straight line to connect the points together, just as you can see. So next up, I'm going to be connecting it to the bust point like this. You use the curvy part of your ruler. You connect it to the bust point, just as you can see. So up next, I'm going to be placing the bust measurement divided by 4 on the chest line like this. Then the under bust measurement divided by 4 plus the dart intake that you took. You measure what you have and you replace it. So also the waist measurement divided by 4 plus the dart intake, then you mark it. Then the hip measurement divided by 4 plus the data intake, then you mark it. So you go ahead and connect all the points together, just as you can see. So the difference between the front and back waist is 1 inch. So I'm going to mark 1 inch for the bust dart and connect to the bust point, just as you can see. So next up, I'm going to get the midpoint of the shoulder. Get the midpoint of the shoulder, connect it to the bust point, just like this. So next up, we are going to determine the height of the over bust. So from the chest line upward, I marked about 4 inches. I'm ruling a straight line across, just as you can see. So on the center front side, I marked about 0.75, and by the side, I marked about half an inch. Marked about half an inch. So I'm going to be connecting it to the bust point. So now I'm just trying to recheck what I marked earlier just to be correct. So you connect it to the bust point like this. So next up, I'm going to determine the dart leg that is more on both sides. The dart leg that is more on both sides. So the dart leg for the center front is lower, while the side front is higher. So what I have on the side center front, I'm going to mark it on the side front so that it will be equal. So next up is to connect the neckline to the armhole. So I'm going to be connecting it to the armhole first like this, just as the guide. So just follow the process. I'm going to connect it this way into the armhole. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm having a nice curve. So now I'm going to measure what I have on this first dart leg. You can see that that other dart leg is shortened because of the neckline I drew. So now I'm marking what I have on the center front to the side front. So it is two ways. It's either you connect it to the armhole by from that second dart leg, or you close up the dart like this and reshape it carefully. So I'm just going to reshape it carefully like this so that it's going to align well. By the time you are cutting, you're not going to be having shortage. So this is what we have. So below the waistline, I'm going to mark down 4.5 inches. So whatever you want to mark down there, you could mark 3 inches, 4 inches. It depends on how long you want that part to be. Then I extended the line outward and I marked 1 inch. So I'm going to be using the curvy part of my ruler. I'm placing it directly on the waistline to get a nice curve, because if you look at the style closely, the side is curvy. So I'm using this particular line. I'm placing this line directly on the waistline. So by the time I'm going to connect the back, everything, the curvy parts are going to align. So next up, I'm placing my ruler this way to connect the first dart leg. So you know that the end part is not straight. That's this asymmetric effect. So this is what we have. So I'm just going to label the center front and the side front. So on the chest line like this, the intake that is there, I'm going to replace it after the bust measurement. After you have marked out the bust measurement divided by 4. So I'm just going to be connecting the line to the under bust. At first, I connected it to the waistline, but I recorrected it and connected it to the under bust, just like this. So for the back, I've gone ahead to place the horizontal measurement, the shoulder line, the chest line, the waistline, and the blouse length. So bear in mind that the front waist and the back waist are different. So whatever you have from the front waist to the blouse length, you come and mark it for the back. You come and mark it from the back, from the waist to the blouse length, because the front and back waistline are different. Shey you get. So now at the center back on the waistline, I marked in 0.75. This is to eliminate zipper bulge. So I'm going to connect it like this to the blouse length, like this, then also connect it to the shoulder line, like this. I'm just eliminating excess at the back, like zipper bulge, so that your zipper will relax well at the back. So now you're going to be taking half of your bust span. You're going to take in your that after the 0.5 inches that was marked. Then you add the 0.5 inches back so that you can mark it on your blouse length and on the chest line like this, so that the line that you are going to roll is going to be equal. So you draw a straight line across, just as you can see. Draw a straight line across like this. So the dart intake on both sides is 0.5 inch. So 0.5 inch. So in total makes 1 inches. So you mark 0.5 inch on the chest line, the waistline, and on the blouse length. So you connect all the points together. You take your ruler, you roll a straight line. Then by the side, you also roll a straight line, just as you can see. So now at the center back, below the chest line, you come down by 0.75. So now we are going to be placing our bust measurement divided by 4 plus the 1 inch dart intake. Then also our waist measurement divided by 4 plus the 1 inch dart intake. Then the hip measurement divided by 4 plus the 1 inch dart intake. So you go ahead and connect all the points together, just as you can see. So remember that we came down by 0.75. So you just take your ruler, you slant it this way so that the back is not going to be looking straight, so it will look a little bit curved. Okay, so below the waistline, I came down by 4.5 inches, just like the way I did at the front. I extended the line outward, then I marked about 1 inch there. So I'm going to be connecting the points to the waistline, just like this, using my curve rule, just like the way I did at the front. So next up, I'm going to be connecting it to the first dart leg. So the hemline for the front and the back are the same. So I'm going to be connecting after that 1 inch. You can see how the point looks. So I noticed a pattern. just like this. But before we cut, on the waistline, you want to do a little bit of snatching. But if you don't want it, you can leave it. It's not just a little bit of snatching. So on the waistline, I'm going to mark about half an inch on the waistline. I'm going to mark half an inch on the waistline, just like this, inwards. So you're marking 0.5 inches inward. So you are going to reconnect the lines like this. You also do it upwards as well. So I'm also going to repeat the same process for the back, mark 0.5 inches, so that I just give you this a little bit of waist snatch effect. But if you don't want it, you can just leave it like that. So you just reconnect all the lines together, just as you can see. So next up, we're going to continue cutting. So you carefully cut out your pattern, just as you can see. You carefully cut it out so that you don't make mistakes, and make sure that you label all your patterns as well. Label everything. So this is me cutting the back and trying to label the back pattern as well. So you carefully cut it out like this. So you cut it this way. So this is that's what we have for the pattern. So now we are going to be closing up the bust dart. So I'm not supposed to cut the entire paper out, but since I have done it like this, we're just going to close the bust dart. Use your paper tape to hold it down. If should in case you have shortage by this side, you replace it. But in this case, I don't have any shortage. So now at the bust point, just take your curvy ruler and just give it a nice curve. This is to eliminate a pointy effect. Then you cut it out so that you don't have this pointy effect by the time you are sewing. So now this is what the front pattern looks like. So I'm also going to be placing the back pattern as well. So this is what the back pattern looks like. So the bottom part of the back pattern and the front pattern, they are the same. Yes, I cut it the same. So you might want to use a different hemline for the back. So I'm going to be placing the side front and the back fronts together, waistline facing each other, just to determine that the length by the side are equal. So I noticed that one was longer, then I trimmed it so that they can both be equal, so that there won't be any shortage at all. So this is what we have for the front and the back pattern. So next up is to explain the down part that looks like fringe. You are going to be cutting, should I say, you are going to have a lot of ropes or something that looks like cord that you make by yourself. So you have that, you have a lot of it, let's say rope, sha, that will serve as the fringe where you'll be attaching the flower petals. So there are about three flower petals I think that are on it, and the third one looks like something that is shiny. I'm not so sure because I couldn't really see it very well. So I'm just trying to use my discretion to draft out what I feel, to explain what I feel is at the bottom part of that dress. So now you just get your fabric, and the best material to use is either organdy or organza. Maybe you don't see organdy, you can use organza. So now you just take your fabric, you fold it into four like this. So I'm trying to show you the first one. Then you take your tape, you will measure on how long you want it to be. It shouldn't be too long, shey you get. Then you connect the lines like this. It's just as if you are cutting a flare. You get. So you take up your scissors, then you cut through just like this. So it's going to be giving you this cone effect. It's going to be giving you this cone effect. So there's something like this. There is going to be giving you this cone effect. So this is what you are going to be attaching on your ropes. You are going to have a lot of it. A lot of it. So it's going to give you this cone effect. So for the second flower, so I'm going to be having this fabric folded into four. So in this case, it's going to feel like you are cutting like half of the circle flare, but it is folded. Do you get? So you determine the height, maybe like 1 inch or 1.5, and you determine the width, maybe 1 inch or 1.5. So then you connect the points together just like this. So I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors and cut it out. Take my scissors and cut it. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim every excesses off. So I trim every excesses off. So I have about 4 pieces, just as you can see. So I'm going to fix in my needle and thread. Just carefully look. So I'm taking one piece and taking my needle at the bottom part and inserting my needle through, making it like in form of gathers. And then I'm going to pull out the thread, take another piece. Please don't rush the process. And bear in mind that if you are using organdy, so in order for the edges not to frill, you get a lighter just to burn it, or you have your candle and you burn the edges. So then you take the third piece as well. So you pull out your thread. So you can see it's looking very beautiful. So if you want it to just be like 3 piece, you can leave it at 3 piece. But if you want to add the extra last piece, which is the fourth one, you can just add it. You carefully take your needle, you insert it like this all the way. Then you pull out your thread and you make sure that you arrange the petals. You arrange it accordingly. Then you tack it so that it is going to be firm. So this is what I think that the second petals on the dress looks like. So now this is what you are going to be attaching on your cord. You are going to be having a lot of it, and it's not going to be this big as well. So this is what you are going to be attaching on your cord. So for the first one, I'm just going to use this needle and thread to hold it down at the tip like this. To hold it down for firmness, but you don't need necessarily to do this, but by the time you're attacking it, it's going to be firm. So I felt that the length was too long, so I trimmed the excess parts. So this is what you should have, and you're going to be attaching on your ropes. So I'm not so sure of the third one, but I noticed that it's shining. Maybe it has a little bit of stud or stone or something, because it has a shiny effect. So guys, if this is something you like, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, comment, like and share. Thank you guys.